is a domain?
Inominat's domain.
Their wills have been stolen.
It's not been fully sealed away yet. Rokuro, give him a good smacking. Wake him up!
On it.
Aizen!
Got it. We'll put in at the nearest harbor. To Port Zexen!
Quite the turnaround. Which game first? I would recommend Zestiria first, only because if you play Berseria first, it's going to make going back to Zestiria really difficult. Also, while you can understand this game on its own, this is a good standalone game, but you will get more enjoyment out of this game if you play Zestiria first. Because this game might spoil some stuff, like, very subtly it spoils stuff that happens in Zestiria, or it spoils something. So I'd recommend Zestiria first if you have access to both. If both are your options, and if Zestiria is like a low enough price.
I feel like some jerk played tug of war with my brain. Dig up some spirit. They're trying to strip away your will.
Oh no! Look! It's that merchant! You're all right!
I do not deserve to be all right. I used people, stepped on them just to make a profit. I even aided wanted criminals so that I could expand my business. My soul is black with ugliness and can never be forgiven.
Huh? No, wait!
The world needs to be purified of malevolence. I don't belong here. I have to die. I have to die. I have to die.
No, it's not right!
Oh!
You can die if you want, but saying you have to die is a good way to make my blood boil.
Those awakened to their own malevolence seek to end their lives. Welcome to Artorias' uncompromising world of reason.
First they steal humanity's rudder, and now they want to say who lives and who dies?
We should find out what's happening here, unless you'd rather not see. You're right, I wouldn't. But I won't hide from the truth any longer. Before anything else, we'll need to confirm just how far his power reaches. Let's head to Logris.
Artorias, this is pretty messed up, dude. Pretty messed up indeed. Oh, I feel so dizzy and not sure whether to blame Innomina or Rokuro's beating. Oh, I've sinned. I'm a vile, selfish soul. I must die, I must die, I must die. It was always tougher than boiled leather to see him like this.
So this is the result of their ceremony of suppression.
Seems that way. They've brought their peace to mankind.
I only understood what you meant by Rokuro's beating because Magalu told Rokuro to slap them. I already have the hairstyle set. Yeah, I would recommend, more on the Zestiria Berseria topic. This game is a good standalone. It's a good standalone. Is it the best one to play first? No. I think Zestiria is better to play first.
Innominat suppression. Is this the ideal world the Abbey envisions?
Bien! There's no life in anyone's eyes! This isn't a fun place at all! It's not just people's minds being shackled. They're being forced to die, too. It's terrible.
Why would dying be part of anyone's ideal world?
Even under such strict control, new sins can still rise to the surface. If that happens, it's better to end the life of the sinner. Melchior came to the same logical conclusion.
What utter rubbish.
Anyway, we need to get to Logris.
What's going to happen to the world? How far will Innominat's power spread? When his domain expanded, I felt a faraway power suddenly come closer. It was enough to blot out the whole sky. I'm sure it's covered other towns too.
His domain has certainly extended to at least the entire populace of this country. Otherwise, what would be the point?
That means what happened at Port Zexon is happening everywhere.
Everyone is either a puppet, or...
Dead by their own hands.
Innominat created this ideal hell in a single moment. That's the power we're up against.
So we few are standing against a truly monumental force.
This is your last chance to turn back.
Turn back to what exactly?
Forward or back, we're headed into hell either way.
At least this way, I'll have my own free will. I'd prefer a living damnation to that oblivion.
Well, don't come crying to me later.
Let's move along then.
And I love seeing Velvet smile. Happens so rarely nowadays. It reminds me of Maruki's world. Artorias and Maruki are similar in the sense that they want to remove pain. So, this is like much more messed up though. Maruki had his, Maruki was awesome. I love Maruki, but he had his flaws as a villain, but this is this is like on another level. It's been a while since I played Royal, but Maruki was, I don't think Maruki was this messed up in what he did to the civilians and all, or, well, not really what he did to the civilians, but what he did to achieve his methods, or try to achieve his methods. I don't think he was this far.
I was a fool for trying to sell commemorative chalices to the people visiting the Empyrean's throne. Happiness can't be bought with ill-gotten gains made through deception. In an effort to change my malevolent ways, I sold my shop and entered the holy priesthood. Rather than pursue my own greed, I've chosen to dedicate my life to bringing the sacred teachings to all.
Wow, look how shiny and pure he is. So this is what happens when Innominat suppresses all of someone's sins and desires.
How nauseating. And this is the kind of world they're trying to create.
Kinda messed up. We must cast away all the self-serving desires, deny the self, serve the many. Serve the many, serve the... Yeah, okay. 3 times. 3 lines of dialogue, serve the many. Look, Artorias, I understand why he did it. It's not excusable. He was... His wife and his unborn child. Understandable, but... This is not excusable at all, in the slightest. Give me my Geo tree. Also, those chests. His reasoning is understandable, but his actual method is not. And it doesn't excuse his actions.
Hey, you're Kakiku's menagerie.
Ooh, close. It's Magilu's menagerie.
I apologize for always demanding that you entertain me, despite my inability to even remember your name correctly. I'm also sorry to you, miss, for always insisting you do that tedious little bird impression of yours. I feel so bad I could just punch myself. Nay, I must.
I'm not sure if I'm more angry or confused.
It is wrong to seek pleasure from viewing petty tricks and pointless entertainment. Honest hard work alone is right. Someone such as I, who was unable to live in accordance to the simplest of truths, should disappear from this earth. Please, use that special trick you told me of. Make me disappear forever.
Men who sway by desire are useless to the many. That means I am unworthy of existence. I must be erased from this world, erased from the world. Yeah, cool. Not cool, but Everything. I want to make sure I got all the dialogue. Oh, there's one in the inn. I want to go do that. He didn't judge, but he also brought false happiness, while this brings false peaceful world. Yeah. Maruki just wanted everyone to be happy, but he wanted to remove the pain. I do remember Maruki. I remember the stuff. I don't remember this. There's probably some stuff I forgot, but from what I remember the general gist of what Maruki wanted to do. while their intents are similar to remove pain, that's their common denominator. Their ways of going about it are completely different. Now that I think about it.
Nectar to escape all my hardships, and I drank to run from all my pain. Even if I resisted, endured the pain, nothing changed. I've spent my life running. I'm pathetic, but I won't run anymore. I'm disposing of all the drinks in town. What the world needs now isn't dependence, but freedom. And I'll see that we have it.
Hey now, that's the kind of repentance that should only come the morning after a night of fun and too much drink.
And if you're afraid of losing yourself, drinking is a far better option than falling under Inominat's control.
I have to agree. For being anti-alcohol, I agree that I'd rather drink than fall to this. Can't run away any longer. I must purge my malevolent heart, be reborn as a man of reason. Must change myself, be reborn. I do like that we're having some dialogue while the world is corrupted. Kind of neat. I mean, it's not neat for the people, but it's neat for the lore and world building, which I've mentioned is superior in this game. By the way, back to what I was saying about way earlier, I was talking about how I hope more people play Tales games. I'm glad that people are considering, yeah, like, Berseria is a pretty solid game. Like, after seeing some Berseria stuff, I'm like, yeah, I wanna buy this game. Because some of these are like hidden gems, and they're amazing. They're very niche, but they're good once you play them.
We must accept that we all grow old. I can no longer perform the physical labor that allowed me to benefit society. I no longer deserve to live here. I must find a place far from others. There, I will await a quiet death.
This isn't someone accepting that they'll grow old. This is him refusing to grow old.
If this spreads, we'll have no more old people at all.
Oh no, our biggest fear. My existence is a burden for the many. My final duty is to end it myself. That's the highest service I can perform for the many. Path of reason must be followed to its end. By the way, to give you guys a sense of idea of how close we are with the main story, I'm fairly certain we can finish next time. But I'm not going to finish next time because I want to get all the color variants before I decide to do the final boss. We are literally close. After this little Logris section, we go back to Helavis, have to go to a new town, leads us to Killerhouse. After Killerhouse, we basically have the final dungeon. We are fairly close, main story-wise, of course.
Pets consume precious resources and grant no tangible benefit to society. That's why I say we should throw them all back outside. It's only right.
I threw away my friend's entire pet beetle collection. They have been purged. This is all for the new order.
But I want to keep my Rhinostegros.
So keep it. Like, seeking solace from animals is human vanity. It's void of meaning and worth. Animals must serve as sustenance or labor. Don't listen to them, Lafayette. They don't know what they're talking about. However, my pet dog, an animal that requires looking after by a child, is devoid of purpose. Dogs are amazing. I love dogs.
It was the height of foolishness for a low-born person like me to hold on to romantic fantasies about Prince Percival. I should seek a male companion suitable to my social status, and live a life free of pointless desire and pride. Form, beauty, appearance, all are superfluous. Reason dictates that I seek a biological partner, who lets me live my life with greater efficiency.
While what she's saying isn't technically wrong, it really creeps me out.
Understandable. We're not individuals, but we are but motes that make up the world. Remember that all times. By the way, was that Laura from Cold Steel? Sounded like Laura a bit. When I heard her voice, I'm like, yeah, this might be Laura. Possibly. Where's the Geo tree in Logris? There's someone in the tavern. There's no way I have it, because obviously R2 would work if I had it. Whatever. The Brookite fish fin. Nice, we got the Amarcian subcontinent complete. What? Are we missing any materials? Trying to see if I'm missing anything. Alright, nothing. So let's go to the Crystal Lyran Sea.
Scout ship departing.
Also, I want to read about the Vulcanist Creus. I love Tales of Graces. Oh, is this Hearts?
Stone like that.
This looks like the logo for Hearts R. I haven't played Hearts R, but I know what the logos look like for all the Tales games. This looks like Hearts R's logo. Yeah, Soma Island. I believe Soma is the last name of one of the characters. Or Soma is like a big part of Hearts R, despite never have played it.
I've never seen a stone.
I want to read this really quick because I love Graces. There's a very rare stone called Creus, clear as crystal, which is rarer still. For us to find this fragment, it was a lucky break. A fragment, a lucky break. I wasn't trying to make a pun, I swear. Well, I thought it was funny anyway. Was it? Well, I guess there's no turning off this sharp wit of mine. And you said it was such a straight face too? That's the funniest part. It wasn't supposed to be a joke. Alright, that was good. I love Eisen and Laphicet. I love all these characters, but Eisen is...
Even the capital is silent.
Reason the bores unnecessary action. Questions like that are unnecessary for reason. You're right, but you would question reason. You're right, reason's the only way, must obey. Oh, that interrupted you? I hate it. Why can't this be like Tales of Arise, where dialogue does not get interrupted by talking to NPCs? Yeah, exactly. Exactly what I said. Maruki wants full happiness, while Artorias just wants no pain. Which, at first, Artorias isn't really clear on what he means by no pain, but it's clear. He wants to take people's free will, so there's no pain. So Artorias basically, he mostly just wants to take people's free will, which leads to no pain. So that's more like, oh, he wants no pain, but he's not really, until at least like halfway through the game, he's not really like specific on what that means. Maruki has a specific way of like, yeah, I want everyone, like, no pain, but specifically I want happiness. So, you know. Similar, but different. Similar concepts, basically. It's like night and day, but like, parts of it are similar.
Fountains are purely decorative and serve no purpose to the collective good of mankind. They must be purged.
Not just the fountains. The streets and houses are filled with unnecessary extravagances. Comfort is another word for vanity. It is a lie that breeds only envy and war. All vanity must be purged.
Yes, we cannot let ourselves be ruled by desire. We must control ourselves and lead lives of purity.
If they keep abandoning desire after desire, eventually they'll abandon even their desire to live.
Oh, does the game want to compare this to Persona 5? Are they going to start throwing out desires and all that? Extravagance is useless. The useless must be swept away. This is the way of reason. Simplicity in all things, in the world, and the human soul. Man, I really have to play Royal, like NG plus Royal at some point. Speaking of, all this Maruki talk makes me want to replay it.
I knew it. I said all along that taverns are dens of evil. Now there is no one left who desires that demon drink. It clouds man's judgment and causes good people to fall into corruption and sin. It should never have existed. Taverns shall now only live on in history books.
I've always opposed the sale of nectar and intoxicating drinks. From now on, those places once known as taverns should be used to distribute food equally to all.
Flavor is irrelevant. It is enough for food to fill the stomach and contain the nutrients necessary for survival. Food is not something that should be enjoyed.
But eating is part of being alive. If you can't enjoy your food, how can you enjoy your life? I don't want to live like that.
Now we're going to start bringing FF10 into the mix with Sin. Crazy. Also, weirdly enough, that sounded like Ignatz. Desire for good tasting food is mere Hedonism, that's how you say that word. It's a shameful, selfish act. Cooking must be prohibited to prevent individualistic greed. Food is great, though. Cuisine and dining are without worth. Food is to be consumed only as fuel for work. This is its true purpose. I told the guards everything I know, must atone for standing against reason. My punishment must be performed by my own hands. Must atone for my sins, must atone, but... Mistress Tabitha, my family, forgive me. Where is Tabitha? She's not here. Was she affected by the mind wipe, or whatever you want to call it? My companions atone for their sins in this room. Now I must do the same. That's reason, but I'm so scared. Mother, please. I don't see Tabitha here. Did she already commit suicide because she was probably affected by it? She's human, so I wouldn't be surprised if she was. There's no other places to go. Let's just go down to the star. This is a really neat segment from, like, a world building perspective. Like, getting, like, some of the people, like, you can optionally decide to, like, they're optional, obviously, these dialogues, but you can choose to, like, see more about how it's affecting the world. It's just really neat. I love the lore and world building of this game so much. That's really what it comes down to.